Good evening, everybody. Dr. Glow here with Black Girl Everything. I am so excited to be out here interviewing. I know how much I love doing this work, and I haven't been doing it lately. So I'm excited to be back. We have the beautiful Rochelle here with us today. I've been really anticipating this conversation with her today. So please, Rochelle, please introduce yourself, tell everybody your name and your business and who you are.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Rochelle Keturah Baptiste. I am a life coach. Most folks call me Ro. The name that I go mostly by is Roe Keturah, which is also my website, roketurah.com. I'm also a licensed social worker. I've had several careers, but my love is coaching, is counseling, is helping folks meet their goals and get to a certain destination, just guide them along the way.
Okay.
That's why I think you and I have connected. So let's go.
I feel you. I feel you. So where are you based out of?
So I live in New Jersey,
Okay.
but I literally just sleep here. My entire network, my connections are all New York. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Flatbush girl. Why
I said everybody, Brooklyn is like its own country.
It is.
Like literally. I'm like, you live in a different country. You say, no, I don't. Yeah, you live in.
It is. Parents are from the Caribbean.
Okay.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. All right. Perfect. How long you been living in Jersey?
Ooh, since 2003. So, oh my gosh, 20 years. 20 years. Oh, shoot.
Oh, you're from Jersey now. You are. You've been there 20 years, like you're from Jersey.
20 years, but I can't claim it because my entire network is still in New York. So.
Just your residence is in Jersey for 20 years?
My residence is in Jersey for 20 years.
Okay, perfect. So why did you decide to become a life coach?
Oh boy, it's a calling. You know, it's not even a decision per se. It's the breadcrumbs, right? So started out in corporate, working for it was Bell Atlantic back in the days. That's to show you. Yeah.
That's back in the day.
That's back in the days. Never afraid to recreate myself, left that and became a florist, became a catering and events planner, managed a studio in Harlem for years, and then realized that wasn't it either. Decided to go back to school, went back to school for my grad degree in theology. So I have a master's degree in theology and social justice, and then still ministry wasn't it, right? It was just like, And then the counseling thing kept on calling me. So I went back for the social work degree. And then even so, right, there are different ways, there are different modalities, there are different ways to counsel, different ways to help people, right? And so because I have been the recipient of some awesome coaching, it only made sense that the calling started to pull me towards doing the same for others. So that's how I got here.
I can dig it. So obviously you're really, really smart with your double masters.
And so are you, doctor.
I know. Thank you. But this is really exciting. So it seems like you shifted through a lot of different careers. What's your sign?
Aries.
Oh.
What? Yes.
Aries love to find space, but they have to, the space cannot define them. So they have to clearly define the space that they're in always. And when you don't, it's confrontational.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Hit it right on the head.
Basically, which is why you switch from angle to angle to angle, because you're brilliant, obviously, but you're brilliant enough to know that I can't stay in the space because it's not going to create what I need.
That's right.
Yep. I can dig a seat. You don't even talking like 4 minutes and I got you already.
You do.
Definitely do. So tell people a little bit about your coaching and how does that look like and what type of clients you like working with.
So mostly I love dealing with clients who are searching for joy, right? Like what's blocking the joy, right? Like it's the feeling, right? What do we want to get to? So we can have conversations about your pain and your past and what has brought you to a place where you want to make change. But I don't like to get stuck there, right? Let's think vision. Where do you want to be, right? You want to be in a place of joy. You want to live, most importantly, authentically, right? You want to be authentic. You want to live a life that's yours, not what people say you should be doing, right? Not what your family, society, not what's realistic, right? But when you dream, what do you really see for yourself, right? Know that you're worthy of pursuing that. And what's the feeling that's associated with that? Usually folks say joy. For me personally, it was joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the client that I'm usually working with, right? Someone who wants to get to that place. And so we delve into what's blocking it, right? Yes, we will talk about some of the things that you need to unlearn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ways in which you have been conditioned into thinking
Mm-hmm.
that either this is what it is, accepting things the way that they are, but then focusing on the goals, focusing on the visions, and helping you discover, right? I'm not the expert, right? It's a matter of guiding you along your journey to figure out what is your authentic way of living. And so that's the program that I will like to guide most of my clients through.
Okay, sounds dope. Joy is so important. I'm so happy you mentioned the word joy. That's been a big thing. Like most of my posts and my reels I've been putting up lately have been focused on about living life, right? And not letting life live you. And it's just all about bringing joy and just having a good time. You know, we went out over the weekend and I just had like so much fun. People was like, people saying to people was like, yo, I'm big fun. He was like, big fun. I'm like, yup, I'm big fun. And all I'm about is having big fun because life is so short and you never know what's going to be taken from you, right? So it's like, yo, you have to value every single day and just be big fun all the time. Because if you woke up this morning, you got the opportunity to have a good damn time. And when you lay down, remember you lived the whole day with joy.
Girl, don't make me start banging on this table, because some of the work that I do is hospice social work, right? And if
Got
you
it.
want to know how to live, talk to people who are dying. They can tell you how to live, right? Some of the things I've been told is do everything you want to do, travel, but most importantly, someone made it real simple. She said, make it fun.
Yeah.
That's it. Make it fun. And we are so caught up in the doing, right? And the accomplishing, right? And don't get it wrong, right? I have my accomplishments, you have your accomplishments, right? Right? But what are those places of joy along the way, right? That gets lost. And so it's okay. You got lost along the way. You have the accomplishments, or you're realizing actually the things that I accomplished, I realized don't bring me joy. I don't want to do this. I made a mistake. I thought that it's okay. We'll figure out how to pivot. We'll figure out how to pivot and get you back to that authentic way of living and get you focused on your joy. Because when you are on your hospice bed, trust me, you're not going to be thinking about the resume virtues. You are going to be thinking about the things that you did that were meaningful, who you love, those moments. That's really what you're going to be thinking about. Trust me, the dying tell me that all the time.
Listen, I already know, and I'm here.
Right.
I'm here. My doctors say I'm all right. You know, I have no expectations of anything. But I think it's really interesting that people get so caught up in those things. They're like, but people look at you like, yo, but you're a doctor. I'm like, yeah, I just want to go on vacation. But you're a doctor. I'm like, yeah, I just want to play in my backyard. You're a doctor. Can I just go to the beach? Like, you know, I love all the things I've accomplished. They're amazing things that I've strived for, that I manifested from a very young age. But for me, the important parts is like, yo, is honestly just really literally just having fun. Like, what is having a good time? What is joking? This came from upstairs. One of my best friends was here. And I was saying to my wife, I was just like, oh, I'm so happy when she comes over. And because I really love her. Like, she's big fun. She laughs, she jokes. And anytime she comes, it's always a good time. Even when she's sad, it's just always a good time, because that's what life is supposed to be, like sharing it with people who just want to live in that state of joy. So I think it's interesting that you're basing your life coaching work around that, because so many people miss that message. It doesn't matter. You can have $100,000 in the bank or $1 in the bank. Your life is only equated by how you live it, no matter about what you actually have that's tangible.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And if you've come to a certain place where you can admit to yourself, right, that I'm not living as joyfully as I can be, I'm not going to say should be, can be, then, you know, let's go. Let's make the changes little by little, right? I realized that for me, it was hard for me. I was so disconnected in my body. It was hard for me to actually feel joy, right?
Oh,
like
talk about
joy in your body. Like you don't realize how much you've foreboded joy, where you're disconnected from it. And so the actual feeling of joy, allowing yourself to go there, it's difficult, right? It's a practice, something
Mm.
that you have to start practicing. Like I do something called a joy alarm, right? Like set your
Okay.
alarm for a certain number of times per day. And every time that alarm goes off, just allow yourself to feel joy in your body, whatever it feels like to you. Just allow that
Mm.
to be with you for 60 seconds. And then you notice that you start to increase the capacity for joy in your body. Because if you're anything like me, I remember clearly being like a preteen, being so tired of being disappointed. I said to myself, that's it. I'm not going to be disappointed anymore. I'm not going to allow myself to get happy and excited about anything, because
Yeah.
that way I can avoid disappointment.
Understood.
So then you then disconnect yourself from joy, because you tell
Mm-hmm.
yourself, I'm not going to allow myself to go there, because you're thinking that we're waiting for the shoe to drop all the time, right? This is not going to work out, right? This is not going to work out. So why even bother to get excited or be joyful about it? And you don't realize that you literally are training your body to not even know what joy feels like. So even when you're in these happy moments, right? When you're on social media and you're at the party and you're whatever, are you really joyful, right? Do you really know what joy feels like in your body? Or when the camera goes off, is your face turning into something else, right? And the connecting back to the personal joy, connecting back to those things that make you come alive, right? Enthusiasm, enthusiastic,
Yeah.
spirit. That's what has happened for me. And that's what I feel literally like a burden to share with others and to help them discover too.
Wow. You just said a lot of words. And they were all very, very powerful. And I'm hearing you because I'm just like thinking about the conversations I've had over the last few days. And I'm just like, oh my God, we're like vibing within this space, because that's been the key energy for me with individuals around me who I'm having these conversations with, is because they're so caught in this beating themselves down into sadness. Right. And it's just like, yo, you can't get nothing done. You're never going to accomplish your dreams. Your relationships are going to suck. Like everything is just going to be so contentious because you're just not allowing yourself to be free within it. And then it's like this whole measure of what is happiness. I said, happiness is just a state of mind. Joy is so much more powerful than happiness for me, that is like, I don't really care about happiness. I care about, am I joyful? Is this thing bringing me this energy that I feel elated and happy? And like when you eat that good food and you're just like, oh, that was so good. That's how I want to live life. That's not how I want to. That's how I am living life. And you be clear about what I'm doing. And it's just like, it's so interesting that I'm having this conversation with you and you're on the same like wavelength about what joy means. And it's so important, especially because you're leading people to find that space. Because I know so many people who don't live with no joy. And it's so sad to look at them, or people who hold on to people, places, and things that suffocate their joy. Right?
That's
yeah,
right.
so interesting. So interesting. So as a life coach, where do you see yourself taking this business and this goals? And because this is not even a business for you. This is like life work.
This is life work. You're right. You're right. And so it's more than just one-on-one coaching. It's speaking, right? I love motivational speaking. I love public speaking. I hosted a women's empowerment event was it this year? Time flies. Yes, March.
Okay.
That was sort of the onset, of my hashtag Be You Joyfully, right? It was a mix of everything, right? And so we had a panel where folks shared some of their trials and what they used to connect back to their joy. We talked about empowerment, what that really means. Then we had a networking portion, right? Because community is important, right?
Of course.
Joyful by yourself, right? Know that you're enough sitting by yourself with a book and nothing else, as Michelle said. But also community. Community is so important to cultivating joy, right? And then we have a little dance party at the end because, again, your body, right? Allowing the breath of God to like flow through you and to just your muscles and just everything moving. It has to be circulated, right? That stagnant energy. Dance is so important, right? Dance is one of those things that just brings me ultimate joy. Ultimate joy. Right?
I be dancing like nobody's looking at me.
Listen, dance like no one's watching, right?
All day long. I be like,
right. So the different ways to spread the message, right? The different ways to share. And so and the different expressions of joy, right? I love
Mhm.
fashion, right? So you may catch me, doing something fashiony on somewhere, designing, creative. Again, I used to be a floral designer, right? An event planner. So that's still in me. So different ways to express joy. So I think it's probably just living my life, Dr.
Mhm.
Flo, right? Just living my life and being an example to others of what being you joyfully looks like. And then guiding those who would like some assistance on their own journey.
Yeah, to get them there. Because we could sit here and have a joyful world. Figure out how much happier the world would just be in general.
Listen.
Or how much more will get done, because people who are joyful create. And we need to create to bring life, right? So if people are feeling that joy, feeling that energy about everything, and they're just building out this world that's just happy. And we're all in a space of like just growth and prosperity.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it? From people just being joyful. So magical, so magical. So if people want to book you and like get to know you and stuff like that, how can they get in contact with you?
They can go to my website, roketurah.com, ROEKETURAH.com. You follow me on IG, same, Roe Keturah. You can follow me on Facebook as well, Rochelle Keturah Baptiste.
Okay.
And they can go to the website or DM me. It's simple.
Not that hard to find you.
Not that hard to find me.
So before we end this call though, before like some of the other things you want to talk about, because I see you doing more. Talk to me. What are you bringing to the world?
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
I told you we're connected. And listen, I've been really clear on leading by the Spirit talks to me. And it's talk to me. I want to know what you have coming next because I hear it. What is it?
A book.
Oh, thank you, published author. And what are we talking about in this book?
We're sharing my journey, right? I feel so many of the mentors in my head have been books that I've read, right?
Okay.
And so why not also add my story there? Because there's someone out there who will resonate, right? There's someone else out there who grew up in the 70s and 80s in Flatbush, Brooklyn, to Caribbean parents in a conservative religion, right? Who busted out of that. Who's in Aries, who always felt connected to God spiritually, but still felt like they didn't fit, right? There's so many things. Divorced after almost 20 years of marriage.
Wow.
Changed careers how many times? Like this, if I tell everything, juicy. If I tell everything, like juicy, Lifetime Network juicy. But that's because I think not to share trauma, right? Not to one up and to have people connect to me through my trauma, but have them connect to me through my resilience.
Got it.
Through what I've been through. I also love nature. And so there's something that's going to happen there with nature and hiking. That's also something that I absolutely love to do. So I love to be on a board of a green space or something like that. It's coming. It's coming.
So you're going to be on the board of a green space. You are going to write this book. And when is the book going to be released?
All right, Dr. Glow. Live coaching, people. This is live coaching. Actually, it will be released holiday this year, December 2020.
Oh, December 2023?
Yeah.
You started writing already?
I did.
Oh, okay. So you're almost done. Okay, perfect. So you're going to finish writing by September. You're going to audit it and everything, edit it and everything else by November, and you'll be ready to release before the holiday season.
Yeah.
So people can wrap up their life with a story that's going to move them to the next year.
That's right.
I love it. You heard all that promotion I just dropped for you real quick. I love it. Watch. I'm gonna see. I'm like, ooh, I told her that. I told her that. I love it. I love it.
You do. You put your stamp on it.
No, definitely. See, I'm a published author too. As you can see, my book is right there.
Love artwork, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. It was actually created by my cousin. I described the theme of what I wanted, so it was hand drawn by her. It's a creative piece. Nobody else has it in the world but me. So very excited about it. Yeah. So it's memoirs. It's a memoir about infertility. So it's focused on my wife's and I's stories through IVF, as well as the story of 9 other Black families.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, deep story.
Nice. How
Kind
long
of
did it
sad.
take you to write
Kind of
it?
happy. A lot of different feelings.
Yeah. How long did it take you to write it? How was the process?
Well, it started off as my journal
Mm-hmm.
through our process because it's also from the perspective of a partner. My wife carried.
Mm-hmm.
And I found in a lot of these Facebook groups that a lot of people were getting lost with their partners, divorces were happening. People didn't understand, especially when you're in relationships, especially with men. I was seeing it a lot more often where relationships were just dissolving around the idea of IVF and having children. So I started writing my story out, and then I started meeting a whole bunch of people within the network, and other people need to share their story. Then I had friends. I have like friends in that book who went through the process as well. And then like what happens, what happens with friends. Once you find out one friend is going through IVF, then all of a sudden you realize that, oh, I can really talk to that friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was. So people kept coming to me and people was hitting me up on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Can I write about it? They was like, okay. And that's how it started.
Nice.
So I did interviews with multiple people and created the book. So it's doing well. I'm
Nice.
excited about it. It's also a staple for my nonprofit. One of the aspects of my nonprofit, which focuses on Black and Brown communities and family planning. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
The
I
little
thought of
things you turn
something
into
else. You're talking, and I thought of something else because I saw
what?
your advertisement for your retreat.
Yes.
Yes. So that's in my future as well.
What about it in your future? Hosting a retreat?
Yes.
When you hosting it?
That won't be
Next
until
year when?
2024 sometime.
In
Maybe
2024
even
sometime?
inaugural, because my women's empowerment event was March 2023. So
Got it.
maybe, second annual will be a
Mhm.
retreat this time, March 2024. Maybe.
That sounds like a good idea. My first retreat was in March 2021. Last year, for our second one, I moved it to October.
Okay.
That wasn't more planning time.
Okay.
And then this year's also in October. Because
Okay.
that's also does not like it on that weekend. It's worked out.
Gotcha.
Because 4-day weekend that we do it on. So.
Gotcha. And what's your experience?
Oh my God. Talk about empowerment.
Hmm.
The first one I did, I broke it up where people was able to come on like separate days or stay the whole weekend. And I had people who came the Friday night and was like so bothered that they didn't stay for the whole weekend to the point where like, now I'm coming back tomorrow. I said, you always doing Friday. I said, I'm canceling my plans. I'm coming back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And it was phenomenal. The first one, I cried and boo-hoo because it was so much positive energy in the space. And we just manifested something so amazing. Right. So then year 2 came, which was last year. And the same thing happened, but the energy was different. Right. It was definitely more multi-generational, which was beautiful to have all these different women of different age groups there within the space. Yeah. But it was just amazing. It's something where, honestly, it was very joyful, right? Because you can't describe it, right? You can't describe when something just overtakes your body. And it's like every day you're just like, yo, people come in and they're walking out like, this is like everything that I needed, everything that I wanted, right? So like now going into year 3, we're even more excited because now we have more people coming on. We have new presenters coming out, new keynotes. We have an amazing photographer, Noor, who's coming out of Atlanta. I love her. She's one of my favorite photographers I work with. Nice. She's going to be there for the whole weekend, doing photo shoots throughout the weekend with the participants. So it's going to be a vibe. Definitely going to be a vibe. Definitely excited about it, but it just brings so much joy.
Doesn't it? Folks were calling me after my event and texting me saying, do you still have a joy hangover? Do you have a joy hangover? Mm-hmm. So for individuals to the next day, 2 days, 3 days after still say to you that they still are experiencing something from your event, then it's like, that you're in the work, right? That you're doing something that's moving and that's changing individuals. Yeah. And I felt as though all I did was show up as myself, right? I felt basically what would I want, right? What would I want? What do I want to share? Put this event together, had lots of support, community, number right? Lots of support. And then to have folks say, when is the next one? We can't wait till the next one, right? Being authentic to who you are, being authentic to whatever the message is that you're receiving, that spirit is saying, share this, setting the intention, right, for doing something that's gonna be awesome for folks, being in service in that way, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you can't lose. Like that's always going to turn out in a way where everyone is blessed. So I'm always grateful to be in a position to put together events, to speak, to coach, and to be used.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I love doing the work that I do. Just ultimately just connecting people with new people. Right. Because it's just so magical to do so, which is why I love doing these interviews. And I've been doing them now for 3 years. And it's just like it brings me so much joy because I meet new people, right? And what they bring to the table, and just having these type of conversations with individuals is just so powerful, because you have other people doing the same, not the same exact work, but the same exact work as you. So it's just like, how many more people we can connect with, like hundreds of people who are just like us with the same idea around joy, then figure with I'm just saying the world would be such a much happier, better place, right? Children will be growing up in homes where they're inspired to live life to their fullest, not for money, not to buy a house, not for college degrees, but to be happy within the space that you're in, right? And whatever that looks for you. So I'm just really excited about it. I'm really excited about this interview. You're bringing it.
Good. I'm glad.
And I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing, what you have coming up. Because I know you tend to be a little indecisive about what you're doing, but I think that everything that you've mentioned is everything you should be doing, and everything that you did not mention that's sitting in the back of your head on your list, you should do that too.
Yes, Dr. Glow. Yes.
It will be.
It will be. It will be, right? I say I don't have a choice, but I don't mean it in that way I don't have a choice. I mean it in the way of when you know that something's on your heart, it eats at you. It does not let you go, right?
Nope. You wake up to it every day.
Yeah. You will try to think about something else. You'll try to go off and choose that job just for the money. You'll try to do something that someone else said you should do because this looks better. But that thing will just keep on eating at you. That thing that says, no, you should be doing something else. This isn't you. Does this really make you joyful, happy? Do you feel enthusiastic about waking up and going to do this? Right?
Yeah.
I tried. I tried to ignore lots of things. And it doesn't give up, right? And I'm grateful that it didn't, because it brought me here. It brought me to a wonderful community. It brought me to meeting wonderful folks like you. It brings me joy, just meeting folks every day. You know what? Joy is something that you can't fake.
No.
Right. Like when it really comes down to it, like people can sense, especially intuitive folks like us, you can see when somebody's faking the funk. Right.
Yeah.
And so people are attracted to people who are authentically joyful. Not saying that everything is perfect. I want to be clear on that too, right? Like saying that we want to live joyfully and live authentically doesn't mean that we don't have our moments.
Yeah. On that last week, Thursday, when you're sitting there like.
Right. Grief is grief, right? Like,
yeah.
But it's how long do you sit there, right? Do you have the tools? Do you have the know-how to reconnect to the joy? Even in the midst of the grief, can you say, this isn't good, but I believe this is happening for my good. So what's the gift in this?
Ooh, yes.
Right? What's the gift? What's the gift in this thing? When I connect to the gift, that brings me right back to the joy, because then I'm grateful.
Definitely.
That this janky thing happened.
As bad as it might have been.
As bad as it might
have been. The hours of pain you experienced and didn't sleep that night. That back end joy that comes after that. You know you did it right.
No, you did it right. After the rain, there's always a rainbow, right? Your higher power will likely exchange your ashes for beauty, right?
Definitely.
Like, there's a gift in everything. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I would get that tattooed on me. There's a gift in everything.
There's a gift in everything. I think that's amazing. You should tattoo that one.
You can connect to the gift and you can connect to the joy. I'm gonna write that down.
All the gems. Make sure you put that on the first page of your book.
If you can connect to the gift, then you can connect to the joy, right?
I'm gonna quote you on Instagram with that.
Am I wrong though?
No, you're not. You're completely right. That's why I love it. That's why I'm going to quote you and tag you in the post. That makes so much sense. But Rochelle, I'm having an amazing conversation with you. I would love for us to build more connections and work together as we move through some of these things that I want to do and things that you want to do. It just sounds amazing, like amazing work that we both are doing out here. So we got to make sure we stay tight.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So one more time, tell people how they can find you and book you and just have an amazing conversation with you.
RoeKeturah.com, RoeKeturah. Same handle on IG. DM me, go to the website, click on the button that says to learn more, contact me, all of the easy good things. And then once we're connected, then we're connected, and that's it.
Okay, perfect. So it's been great speaking to you today. Thank you. You do hold on right here, okay?
Okay.
All right. This is Dr. Glow with Black Girl Everything. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you again next week.
Thank you, everyone.